What it do, everybody? It's your boy, Johnny B. We on JonnyBeeTV. I got a very special guest in the building, man. Very underrated player to me, man. Would you call yourself underrated?
A little bit.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say it, man. Very underrated player. I got to catch a lot of his games. We actually got to play together a little bit, you know what I'm saying,
sure.
when it comes to the Wauwatosa and them real battles and stuff like that.
Sure.
But a real special player in the building, man. We got Erick Williams in the building. What's going on, bro?
Appreciate you.
How you doing, man? How the summer going for you so far?
Summer right now, man, it's gonna be over. Got birthdays coming up. Got 2 girls. My son's birthday this Saturday actually, and then my daughter's birthday 10 days after that. So and then another 10 days after. So I'm kind of busy, like coming up late summer, getting into the school year. I'm all hands on deck when it comes to that stuff. So yeah. Man,
it seemed like it go like that. I feel you speaking on fatherhood early. It seemed like their birthday come around real fast. School come around.
For me, I think I decided I'm not like everybody else. I think I decided to get busier and during the Christmas time.
I feel you, yeah.
So I mean, because all my kids' birthdays are in the same month, but they're years apart. So, but other than that, I think it works perfect for me because I get them all done and boom, then I'm cool. But you know, I mean, it's trials and tribulations when it comes to that shit. You know, I'm dealing with 3. So, you know, I got my ups and downs. I'm not like the perfect person in the world, but
man, who is?
Man, I mean, hey, I just roll with the punches, and you know.
Most definitely. What do you like to do before we get into your story? What you like to do on your off time, and to like entertainment wise, what you tap into the most right now?
Far as my off time, I would say I do spend a lot of time with my kids. Other than that, entertainment wise, I really don't. I mean, I'm cool with everybody, so that's one thing I couldn't say. I fuck with everybody. You know, but as far as like doing a lot of things, I'll pop out here and there and get a drink too or something like that. But I really don't do too much like that. I be chilling, man. I'm kind of a homebody. I don't be on that type of time.
You most definitely. I was just telling you.
I mean, I ain't no disrespect to nobody. I love everybody because like when I step in the room, I want everybody to show me love because I'm gonna show everybody love. It's just like I don't know. I come off like that. That's just me. But
man, well, to me, you always show love. You always, you know what I'm saying.
I'm like, man,
you is who you is.
Because I feel like when I was coming up, like you know, like I used to see like a lot of dudes that didn't show love. So like I do show love on occasion where like I don't have to be around these people or kick it with them, but when I do come around them, I want them to feel knowing like, oh shit, I fuck with E. Like I want him to come around me. I want him to like, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know, I just be cool and everybody know who if they fuck with me, they fuck with me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I fuck with everybody. But you know, I really don't. If you got my number, shit, use it. If I got your number, I'm gonna use it. But you know, at the same time, I don't give my number out to everybody.
Most definitely.
And I ain't saying like I don't want nobody to have my number, but I just, you know, I'll be, man, I think I just like I like to keep my shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's cool to be a private person.
I ain't saying I'm private, but like I just feel like nowadays it just be too much going on. Like I'm not risking like shit for my kids or anything. That's the first thing I always tell myself. So
that's a fact.
I don't play them games, but yeah, man, I don't be on nothing, man. I'll be at the crib. Man.
Yeah, cool, man. Hey, I agree with you on that for real. Hey, you gotta. Especially you got kids, you got to make it home, you got to keep your head down. There's a lot of foolishness in the city that you can, you know what I'm saying, get your hands in on. So.
Man, what? Too much foolishness.
Facts. Let's get into your story a little bit. Just tell me a little bit about your childhood, siblings, you know what I'm saying, just how you was raised a little bit.
Well, low key, I mean, I'm going to start like this. I got 8 brothers. I got 1 sister. I grew up actually in the football house. All my brothers, you know, actually all my brothers was all around athletes, but their main sport was football. You know what I mean? Like, so I gave it a shot. I tried to, but it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, coming up at that time, you know, we go to them away games, man. It used to be cold, getting on that bus. Coming home, you know, no disrespect to, you know, to my other teammates and shit like that, but like, it was just me and a few other people on every night, on an everyday basis, so I got tired of that. So
yeah,
that was just in high school. You know, I got sick of it in high school. I kind of played a little bit in middle school because I only played because my friends played. I got started playing basketball shout out to Mike Cupertino. Like, if it wasn't for Mike Cupertino, literally, I started middle school because I grew up in Tosa. Y'all don't know. I grew up in Tosa. So Lincoln Elementary is across the street from Tosa East, and then Longfellow's on 76 and North Avenue. So I actually went to Lincoln, and then I went to Longfellow. I played. This how I started playing basketball. 6th grade, Mike Cupertino asked me, did I want to try out for Junior Raiders basketball? That's the only. I ain't know nothing about being on sports, organized basketball, or doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So actually, I tried out. I made the team, but I was terrible.
What grade would you say this was?
This was 6th grade. So,
okay.
So 6th grade, I tried out. I made the team, or whatever the case is. But like at that time, like again, I had 8 brothers. Like I was around too much action, too much people. You know, a lot of my teammates, they might have had 1 or 2 brothers, or you know, got like sisters and shit like that. Like I grew up with nothing but testosterone in the
Facts,
you know
facts.
What I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it was different. It was a different feel for me.
Where within your brothers, where are you?
So in the lineup of boys, I'm the 4th oldest. I got 3 older brothers, but my sister, she older than me by a year.
Okay.
And then I got all my younger brothers, or whatever the case is. But yeah, my 3 older brothers, they went to West. So actually, when I first started high school, they thought I was going to West. They had like my schedule, like I could have been on varsity, like all that, like.
Was Tosa West more of a football school at the time?
Tosa West wasn't. Now I haven't watched them, but like now, like I haven't watched like none of the games. But I heard like they pretty good or whatever in these last like few years. And you're like, you know, that's good, you know, for like them, you know what I mean, in a way, because everybody really know who really owns Tosa. Like, come on now, we gonna get that out of their mind. But you know, it's good for like their program because they actually needed it. But you know, and I'm not saying it's great players that came out of there. You know what I'm saying? But they just needed something different for that program, and that's what they got. But you know, it was just so different for me, and I had to fight every day. You know what I'm saying? So man, it's like, man, you can wake up and do shit, and you still like, damn, nope. So I used to actually sit the bench a lot coming up, you know what I mean, and not till like going into like 7th grade, 8th grade, I'm like, man, fuck all that, because like I got super sick, like every year from 8th grade to my senior year, I got sick, like going into like November, Christmas, like around that time, like I used to get just like sick, like, and it'd be like a 2-week thing, like, so it'd be times where I'll be playing in big games, like, and I can't show up to school, but I'll show up to school for 4 hours, go home, rest till it's time to show up to the game. You know what I mean? Relax, you know what I mean? The whole day, rest, get off my feet, shit like that. But that happened to me. But like I said, shout out to the Cupertinos, because without them, I probably still wouldn't be hooping. Yeah. Because when I was coming up, bro, I used to miss practice. I used to try to follow around my brothers. Cause, I feel that. I mean, I was the next one in line, but you know, I had to really get myself ready. You know, we had a long conversation on the phone, and it was just telling me like, you know, you gotta take this serious. And so after that, man, freshman year came. I felt like, you know, I worked that whole summer because he like, you know, he spoke like, you know, what I needed to hear. And, you know what I mean? Not saying like my brothers didn't into me, you know what I'm saying, but.
Sometimes you need another voice, though.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I needed. You know, obviously my mom, she was a different breed, you know, but other than that, you know, the Cupertinos, they basically put me on the map. And then, you know, once I got on the map, I played Junior Raiders with my homies who I regularly grew up since I was like 2 or 3 years old or whatever. So I grew up with them, boom, like but also like the grades that was above us or whatever, they doing the same thing. So like, you know, by the time we got into high school transitioning, like I see myself getting bigger, stronger, you know, I'm moving more faster, I'm doing more things, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, they ain't giving me my chance that I felt like I should have got when I first started high school. They put me on freshman, played like 5 or 6 games of freshman, then they put me on JV or whatever. They called my mom, had like this big thing or whatever, just, you know, made a big deal about it. But other than that, man, I swear, going into like my sophomore year campaign, like it was more like, you know, it was different for me. I went from having Arndorfer to George Haas. Man. Shout out to Haas, like, you know what I mean? I wish I would have had more years with him. But also, I'm thankful for having Arndorfer because I had him all 4 years in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so my sophomore year, it was more like a teaching experience because without, like, again, shout out to the Cupertinos.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother, too, my oldest brother, Duran, because without them two, I think I would have probably, I can't say because it had been times where they want me to do shit, but then I'll be like, I'll be timid. I'll be, you know, I'll be certain shit because I ain't want, you know, Haas to get on my ass.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was different. I can't say how everybody else grew up, but if y'all ever seen Haas in action, y'all see him at the games, picture him at practice.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it was different, but my whole sophomore year was like a whole learning year campaign for me. But I got better. Yeah, I was getting better like during the end of the year, and then as freshman year, you know, came along. I was in like, you know, I was JV.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask too.
You know what I'm saying? So I was JV after, you know, playing the 5 or 6 games of freshman. You know, and like they should have just had me try out for JV and then made their decision. You know?
Feel that.
They didn't give me, you know, that chance, and I feel like they should have gave a couple of my other homies a chance to be on JV because that's just how it was. But at the same time, man, it was a lot of, you know, it's so different.
It's a lot of politics.
It's politicking, and I'm not saying like, oh, Tosa, he's bad, you know what I mean? But it was a lot of politicking at that time. You know what I'm saying? That shit played a role in a lot of shit that you did on and off the court. You know what I'm saying? And it used to be, you know, I used to be cat and mouse with them, but also they used to be cat and mouse with me too. So it'd be times where I'd be like, dang, I kind of wish I went to EPS, but I'm kind of thankful I stayed at Tosa because it grounded me, it molded me, it made me, you know what I'm saying, think about certain shit and do certain shit. So like sophomore year, you know, like I said, learning experience, Cupertinos, man. Shout out Big DJ. That's Mike's big brother because I was in the same grade as Mike. And sophomore year basically came to tryouts, boom, boom, boom. You know. And actually, if it wasn't for Charles Ward, you know, shout out Charles Ward. A lot of people don't know. Like, if it wouldn't be for Charles Ward, he opened up a lot of slots for a lot of other people that you know that got on the team. You know what I'm saying? But because he ended up moving. But like sophomore year came. Now I'm trying out for varsity. You know what I'm saying? So they only letting a few select sophomores on varsity. You know, shout out to Jerry. You know, Jerry was when I first started. You know, me being in middle school and like being around that Toastman atmosphere, like, and I'm like, not shout out to like I love seeing city players. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't get a good experience start seeing city players until like me going to like, you know, being organized, playing with the Cupertinos. They used to take me to, you know, we go watch games and shit like that. So that's how I started seeing other stuff, excuse me, but man, that shit used to be outrageous. But Jerry, like, I just grew up watching the era of just him and other like people that don't get it twisted because it's a lot of great athletes coming out of Tosa. So like, you know what I'm saying? But when I was in that Jerry era, it was, you know, it was nasty. So Jerry actually opened up a lot of doors for everybody too as well. You know what I'm saying? And Tosa. So it was like when them two left. Boom, boom, like I'm like shit. It was for up for takings. It was like, you know, but at the same time, you know, you had the 08 class. Shout out to Tony Walls, Bryce Powell, DJ Cupertino, Jake Barnett, fucking Trey Hills, Ray Spellier, Ricky Reeves. Who else was on the squad? Who was that last one? It was one more, but you know, like it was kind of up for grabs, and then you had that 07 class. Shout out to Chris Hortman. Shout out to rest in peace to Casey Sperry. Shout out to Casey Sperry. A lot of people know him. It was for up for grabs my sophomore year. So you know, matter of fact, shout out to EG too, Ortiz. But you know, it was for up for grabs. You know, like I felt like 07, like it was a lot of like, oh, this my team, or you know, like, oh, just I'm this my year, like, you know, it was a lot of people in the upper grades that was, you know what I mean, but like, it was a lot of people that was slept on, like, a lot, like, you know, I felt like they didn't give Chris Hortman his shot that he really needed. That man went overseas, balled out, making good money, you know what I'm saying? But so it's just like coming up, damn, okay, so sophomore year come, boom, tryouts come. Now the people that they put before me to try out in sophomore year, bam, I'm the only sophomore on the team.
Yeah.
But Mike Cupertino and Keandre, they got to split like JV and varsity or whatever. So they kind of was on varsity or whatever the case is, but I wasn't playing like no JV games like sophomore year. So I was strictly varsity.
Yeah.
I was a strictly varsity player or whatever the case is. So it was like, bam, learning stuff for me. You know, Coop helped me out a lot, Big Coop. So, and my brother as well, my oldest brother. And then, you know, also I had Arnie. I had, you know, going into like my sophomore campaign, like I was getting noticed. So shout out to rest in peace to Richie Davis, because without him, that's how I got on on the AAU circuit.
Okay,
I first got on playing with Fox Valley Skills, and that's how I met one of my best basketball friends in my life. Shout out Nate Zastro. I ended up meeting, like, you know, I just met great players. Johnny Lacey, Jamil Wilson, Jontel Franklin, like, you know what I mean? Just like the list goes on and on, like, you know what I mean? So it'd be like, dang, and you know, I'm actually playing in front of some of the good players, you know what I'm saying? So it was pretty good, you know what I mean? And then like my game was just transitioning. You know what I mean? Sophomore year. Then junior year came.
Yeah, junior year came. No bullshit. And junior year, like you said, you were speaking on sophomore year, how, like, you know, you felt like everything was sort of up to grabs, and you know what I'm saying? People already know, is that the year that Jerry left?
Yeah, so Jerry graduated 06.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of felt like, damn, like, yeah, okay. I knew I wasn't gonna make varsity because how the way it went, but like,
yeah, your freshman year. So wait, so freshman year, did you feel confident enough to play varsity? Like, you know what I'm saying? Was your mindset ready for varsity, you feel like?
I think at that time, I don't think like my mindset was right. Like, I don't think I was like strong enough to be on varsity, and like how the way they went. Like, it was just so different, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you know, like a lot of people had, like, I kind of wish I went up the Milwaukee way. You know, a lot of people had a good route. Like, I had to do a lot of shit. You know what I mean? But
one thing I do want to ask you, because like you said, people can't go the Milwaukee way. How is it growing up as a black man in Tosa for the people outside of Milwaukee, and you know what I'm saying, or the people that's here that know how the difference between Milwaukee and Wauwatosa, you know what I'm saying? So you grew up in Tosa, you know what I'm saying? So how is that experience all around?
I mean, I love Tosa. So one thing about Tosa, like, you know, it's people that's been here, like the alumni, like it's different. Like Tosa, like it's just different when it comes to a community. Like, it's actually, like, I wouldn't say it's hard to explain to you, but like it's in a way where it's like we all a family. Like, boom, like we a ball that can't be broken. Like, once you become like a Tosa Red Raider or being any Tosa, like even a Trojan, you go to Tosa West, like you gonna connect. Like people gonna remember you from forever. You know? It's like, it's different, like, you know what I'm saying? But like then you be in sports, like the community is great people, like, you know what I mean? So, and the history go back, so it be like it's so different. So me growing up and being like in actually 220 program, you know what I mean? Because I used to live like 5-10 minutes away from Tosa. I didn't actually live in Tosa, but I lived like on the outside of Tosa, you know what I mean? But I was in the Tosa, like my majority of my friends are Tosa people. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like, you know what I mean? I didn't do like Warren basketball. I didn't do all that because I didn't know nothing of it. Yeah, for real shit. I know that. And it's like no disrespect to nobody that didn't play, but I didn't know nothing of it. Yeah. I didn't hit the circuit until my late freshman year. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I didn't know nothing about none of that. But look, then once I started playing AAU, I was gone every week. Yeah, exactly. One of those days that we was gone. So it was just, you know, Tosa is just, you know what I mean? It's a community that you gotta like, you gotta love to hate it, but hate to love. But I love Tosa. Oh, definitely. It's home. It's home. So like when I actually gotta tell people and everything, I actually gotta tell people I'm from Tosa, because like that's where I'm like, I feel like I'm from. Like, that's some real shit. Like, yeah. I elementary, middle school, high school, majority of my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's just be like, I'm Tosa, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's some NPS schools I ain't never been in. Yeah. That's just how it goes, so, you know what I mean? No, yeah, that ain't true. Hey, that's real. And too, Tosa is
a key figure school in Wisconsin, especially in like
Facts,
lower,
like,
you know what I'm saying, this
when
area.
I was coming up, man, we was like blue ribbon school of the year, man. We won state for volleyball. We won state, obviously, for basketball. Like, we was accomplishing a lot of things. Like, I graduated with like a dude or like, it was like a dude or a girl. They was like 12 or 13 or whatever at the time.
For real?
You know what I'm saying?
That's decent.
You know what I'm saying? So it be shit like that going on. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the community just strong out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different. Like,
hey, that's some real shit. I was in a similar situation. I stayed in Milwaukee, but Chapter 220, like you mentioned, that was what led me to Whitefish Bay. So that's how, you know what I'm saying, got into it with them. And I'm gonna be honest, it's some stuff. I was going back home to a little rougher neighborhood, and I'd be on some real shit. There's some shit we gotta pick up.
That's how
you know what I'm saying, from them. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Some they got some real structure. It sounded like we were sort of in the same situation
but at the same time, like Tosa, like they didn't give no shit about you. Like,
yeah, that too.
You know
I ain't saying
like,
that.
I had to,
Facts.
like, really, like, you know what I'm saying, figure out who was gonna like make sure I get a ride home, or who was finna do this or do this,
I've been
or
through
whatever.
shit like that
but
too.
also 220 program, they make sure you got that bus pass. You know?
Yeah.
I can't say how it worked out, but I got that bus pass. I made sure of that. But you know, after like my freshman year, you know, shout out, you know, rest in peace to my homie. He's coming up to 4 years, you know. My homie Warren, he used to come grab me, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and pick each other up and do shit, and you know what I mean. So he used to pick me up for school and shit like that. So I really didn't have to get it on the bus like that, but I always had it for just in case for emergencies and shit like that. But then I ended up getting my little wheels and shit started panning out. And like I said, junior year touchdown for me. And I mean, I think I kind of like, I would say, I think I was like a kind of like a surprise to a lot of people. I say like coming up like and seeing like a lot of stuff like, and man, it was like watching all them city teams dominate, you know, King, Washington, you know, and you see the good other white good schools dominating too and shit like that. So, you know, like, man, I'm so cool. You know, I made friends with a lot of these people, but like at the same time, man, our program's just so different. So like being able to have like alumni come in and talk to y'all before games and you know what I'm saying, shit like that, that shit dope, man. That shit just like, you know, it puts something in you, you know what I mean? You know, they show up to practices and shit like that, you know what I mean? Run drills, we like, you know what I mean? It's like a big family, like when I say like that shit. So it's like that whole year, like after Haas retired my sophomore year going into my junior year, like that's when I kind of knew like, yeah, this shit for, I knew like, you know, disrespect to like, you know, my homies in my grade, like I knew like, yeah, y'all not better than me. Yeah,
that's real.
It's over for that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I love them, they're my dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, it's grown man business now, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, the 08 class, like, they was, you know, they had me on my toes too. So it was just like, I'm coming with everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, my whole junior year was, like, a lot of people don't know, like, I can't say how they went through shit or what they did, like, but man, we ran so much. It was ridiculous how much we ran.
As far as conditioning?
What?
Yeah.
It was just like a thing like I was kind of used to, because like growing up junior Raiders, like again, shout out to Cupertino, like he put that structure on us. He put that, you know, that certain mentality, you know, the Cupertinos, they already had a mentality, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they, you know, and then my other homie, you know, other good players like Keandre, like my grade, like in Tosa, like obviously it was other people that was better than my homie Keandre, like, you know, probably outside of Tosa, but in Tosa in my grade, Keandre was the best player. That's really he was already, you know what I mean? So some niggas just be bigger and we already had that extra little muscle and shit like that. So he was kind of bigger than people. He can post you up. He can take you out the dribble. He can do little shit. But like, damn, once coming into high school, I'm like, each year progressing, I'm like, hold on. I'm getting taller than him, faster than him. Like, niggas getting punched on in practice. Like, hold on. Like, niggas catching bodies in games. And so junior year started, bro. Like, you know, it was a turning stone for me, because it was just like we was loaded. So it was like, a lot of people don't know we was fighting for spots, like everything, playing time. Like it was like some seniors, they weren't seeing no time. No, like, and there's no disrespect to like some homies. Like, no, I went from like, when I say, bro, I went from like no playing time to like put it in his hand.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know, it was a turnstone for me my junior year. And, you know, even on AAU, like, man, shout out to Johnny, shout out to Jamil, them, man, we smacking folks. Shout out to our coach, Brian and Train, man,
and this playground?
Man,
yeah.
This, Richie and playground had combined and you know, we was playing.
And we just had Jimmy on.
And man, yeah, I played with Jimmy Sherburne, Nate Zastro, Jamil Wilson, Jontel Franklin, Theotis.
Shout out Theotis, man. That's my boy, man. Same neighborhood, we grew up together.
Shout out to T King. Shout out, man. We was just like a nice, like decent squad. Like I was that person. Like I didn't need to have the ball every time.
I feel that.
Like me being around them, like we was cold. Like we was already, you know, playing around other people. Sometimes Jerron Mayman, he'd come hop on, tap on with us once a time, or here and there getting. But we kind of didn't need that anytime. Yeah. We was smacking shit by 40, 60. Like no cap.
And y'all was traveling like this national, y'all doing y'all thing.
We going out here smacking shit. Like, we smacking top ranked niggas. Like, we out here smacking shit. Like we out here smacking best nigga. But well, as far as why I would say, like me growing up and like me, like if I was to say, if somebody asked me who's like the best point guard you ever play with, Johnny Lacey, easy.
Johnny Lacey, easy.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. You know, I see y'all. A lot of people saying like up close and personal, like high school shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I see high school shit like him playing at Bayview, but a lot of people didn't see AAU. So it was like, hold on, like y'all gotta put some respect on my boy, man. And at the same time, like Wilson was a dog too. Jamil was a whole dog. Jamil was punching on anything that was coming down. So it was like, man, we had a mindset. We was just like, we on there smacking shit. You know, so.
That was a nice time. I caught a couple of y'all games. I think I caught whatever they used to have at Homestead back in the day. It's been a little minute.
NYTLA?
Yeah.
Shit was easy.
Yeah, that was just y'all start off. That was probably like in April.
We do that.
Yeah.
We won King James twice. We was out North Carolina. We played. When we used to go to Vegas, we always played up in the older divisions. We went to an elite, like I think we went to Elite 8 or the Final Four or whatever. We played against some of the top like best players in the country that's, you know, a grade or two older than us. So it was just like, you know, it was a lot of learning stones for a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? But man, it used to be fun.
Speak on you speak on a little bit, but the junior year, the season, you know what I'm saying, y'all won state. Only lost one game, you know what I'm saying, that whole year.
Like I said, like it was like a big surprise for me, I would say, and it was like a big surprise for a lot of other people because a lot of people slept on us. You know, that was the thing. You know, why I say it was a big surprise for everybody why they slept on us, because they just don't know. Like all of us grew up. A lot of them people ain't been playing together since they was, you know, 7 or 8 years old. So each one of us, 06, 07, 08, 09, you know, all of us, we all played Junior Raiders and all that stuff. You know, some of them guys, they just grew up playing AAU together. I grew up playing middle school, so that was that, and then Junior Raiders, and then you go up playing, you know, AAU high school. So I grew up, you know, we doing team, I don't know if you some of them high schools, you know, you went to Whitefish Bay, so you would know, like, we did team dinners, study hall.
All that, yeah, like, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? There's no disrespect. I can't, you know, a lot of great players came out of, you know, MPS schools, you know what I mean? But like, as far as why I was just like us, like it was just like a family thing.
Yeah.
Like it was just like we didn't care. I think we didn't care who was gonna be the man because anybody could have been the man.
Yeah.
You know, I think once that 07 class got out of there or whatever the case is, that 08 and 09 class, because it wasn't no sophomores, no freshmen making varsity. We was too stacked and loaded. Everybody, I think the shortest person on our team was Mike Cupertino, and he was like 5'10".
Yeah, type shit. I was like, y'all the real.
So everybody else was like at least 6'2" or higher. So you know what I mean. So everybody was, you know what I mean. So it wasn't no short people, and there was a lot of other teams out there too. You know what I mean. But
I mean, y'all played against the best that year. You know what I'm saying. Y'all ran into Pius. Y'all ran into with Corey Lucius there. Shoot, especially at the end, y'all who y'all beat, we can get into it. Madison Memorial, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you brought up Mayman, you brought up we didn't bring up Vanderblue, but you know what I'm saying?
See, man, growing up and seeing all those, man, seeing all those dudes, man, like I said, shout out Jerron and Vander, them, and all them guys up there in Madison. Because I got super tapped in. After me winning state, I got super tapped in with a lot of them dudes out in Madison. Shout out to a couple of homies that they go to Madison East, Marquise Mason, Nimrod, and all those guys, my homie Stafford, and, you know, man, just all those guys up there, man, they just always showed me love. And it's just growing up playing basketball, doing shit with them and shit like that. So just be valid and shit. But yeah, man, like playing against like Corey them and all that type of shit, man. I think just seeing them, like, you know, we used to be at the Y. You know, if everybody know, if you from the city, you know, if you was from the city, you want to hoop, you want to do, you gonna go to 124.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? If you wasn't at 124,
you wasn't really doing too much.
I can't say if you was a real hooper, you know what I mean? Obviously,
that's real.
Like I said, I wasn't around for Warner, or nobody really ever asked me to do that shit, because obviously I was doing too much traveling with my AU team. So
I did that. I feel like 124th was enough.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, only motherfuckers really that was real hoopers know, you know, from that, like that era, from literally maybe 2000, you know, even before I was at the YMCA, when I was younger, watching them, you know, you know, certain motherfuckers ball and hoop. And
it's funny, that's where I like you brought up Jerry Smith, that's where I used first catch Jerry. And just, you know what I'm saying, like at the time he was, you already know, #1 ranked in the state, all that, but real humble dude, you know what I'm saying? He be just a real humble dude, real good dude too. And he was the man at the time, I ain't gonna lie.
Jerry Smith probably might be the most humblest dude on the earth, because like I used to remember, I'll never forget, I had to be in like middle school. So I'm like 7th or 8th grade, so he had to be like maybe sophomore.
Yeah.
You know, I think Al was probably like a senior, Al Hansen. And we had practice or whatever, we had a game, but you know, Mr. Cupertino always worked his magic to get us in the games and shit like that. And got us in the game. I'll never forget, Tosa East down, like 1. It's like 3 seconds left. We catch like the last like 2 minutes of the game. And get that time out, you know. I can't say how other high school gyms used to be packed going down, but you know, if you've ever been to a Tosa East game, y'all know what it is.
Yes.
Best fans alive, you know what I'm saying? And all I remember is Jerry just going over the top, shutting down the whole building. So like being able to go to school with him for that year and learning and doing a lot of shit, man, like man, great dude, man. Love Jerry, man. Positive. I'd love to see him coaching and doing little stuff in the future, and see him in the Tosa East coaching uniform or something, you know. But hey, you know, who knows what he gonna do when he retire, if he does, what's his plans. But you know, I mean, man, I be thankful for that little shit, man. You know, when, you know, coming up, seeing a lot, man, it's like I said, man, it's a lot of great athletes come out of Tosa. It's just like, I mean, that history's so deep, so it'd be like, man, you gotta know if you know.
Fact. Cool. So coming off a great junior year, you know what I'm saying, y'all ran the state, you know what I'm saying, y'all really did y'all thing. First, before we move forward off that,
well, they didn't let us run the state because I felt like,
I mean, 1 loss, that's running the state. You know, feel like?
I kind of felt like, yeah, we had, you know, we had everything, but they didn't like give us, like, I feel like they didn't give us that certain recognition that we should have got. Like, they should have gave us some rankings. They should have gave us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So when we was playing teams, we actually, you know, boom, boom, like, okay, next, boom, 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 next, boom, 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 next. You know, obviously we ended up losing to Brookfield Central, and they had a squad, like, shout out to fucking Corey Degner, them, and you know, all them, man, them good dudes, man. A lot of people don't know, Greater Metro Conference, man, some great ass killers come up out of there. Rick Wagner, fucking Nolan, Luke Holman, man, it's so many great people that come out of the Greater Metro, like that conference, man. It's a lot of killers that come up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So it was great seeing like a lot of players coming out of there. So me like establishing myself my junior year, like it was like a big thing, and you know, and I felt like, you know, I was battling a few things, you know. I was, you know, they was like, you know, like it was politicking on me, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I kind of put that shit beside me, and you know, championship game came, and you know, I guess me and DJ got hurt the game before. We ended up playing Brookfield Central. We ended up beating them.
Yep, y'all got y'all revenge on them.
Well, actually, we didn't because we got the first game and then they beat us. So we kind of tied conference, but we had the better record, so we ended up winning conference.
Okay.
But short notice, DJ ended up getting hurt, but he was like questionable. So it's like, because I didn't start that many games that year. We played 27 games. So I started maybe like 10, 12. I wasn't a starter.
Oh, really? Okay. Hey. I mean, shoot, anytime you got the opportunity, you
That's why I say I established myself because, like, I watched, like, what my teammates wasn't doing, like, on the bench.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, they quiet. But I ain't saying, like, they was quiet, but, like, they not doing nothing. They not, you know what I'm saying? They not in the game. They not, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I'm watching the game. One of my teammates messed up. I'm clapping. All right, let's go, y'all. Yeah, good D. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know,
yeah.
Up on a turnover. You know, to get a turnover. You know, and you know how it worked for us. We sit across from our fans, and then the visitors' parents sit across from our fans, and then the fans sit across from. You know, they sit behind the away bench from they two, and then we sit across from. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, seeing our fans, you know, going back and forth, and, you know, we used to just. You know what I mean? But junior year, it was just like, you know, I felt like it was for the taking for me. So I just stepped to the plate, you know, doing more things, punching, catching lobs, knocking threes. And, man, we got up to state and, you know, man, probably the coldest days.
I was gonna say, how was that experience in Madison?
So
you know what I'm saying,
bro? And like,
it was freezing type shit,
bro. Like, you know, I'm you know in our school about making memories, and stuff like that. It's so dope. Like I'm with that, but man, like when I say it was like 3 degrees outside, they made us go like walk all the way up to like the Capitol, like take a nice picture, which is dope. Like cold. I'm like, man, like, why I gotta be like today on this cold day, or whatever the case is. But you know, got up to state. We ended up playing. Our first round. We played Claire North, and then we got to the second round, and we playing Brookfield Central. So yeah, you kind of right. Yeah. We got our revenge back, you know. And at that time, you know what I'm saying, you know, our to get up to state wasn't easy. We had to play, you know, regionals. We played. We played Bay, so obviously I played my homie Jimmy, you know what I mean, and you know we beat them, and we beat them at home, and then we ended up playing Marshall. Shout out to Chauncey Williams, he was doing.
He did his thing, yeah, I seen that.
And then we ended up beating them, and then we get up to the Owl, and we ended up playing Custer. I scored a few crucial points towards the end to lift us against Custard, and then for King as well, King was a good school. It was a great team. They had a great squad, man. But
that's like Ed Reed and them.
Yeah, that was Ed Reed and them.
Yeah,
and they had played a good game because that year it was Washington year that year. Washington was dominant. Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Anton Burr. Shout out to all them guys up over here, man. Washington.
Yeah, they was facts.
It was good battles, and I always got to play my homie Ed. So like you said, Ed Reed, that's my boy. So shout out to Ed Reed. You know what I mean? We always used to play against each other, and that's my boy. So we used to we played them. We ended up getting them. Got to state, like I said, we played at Claire North. We got them off the map, beating them by like 8 or 10 points.
Yeah.
Then we ended up beating Central by like 6 points. So now, like at that time, like my coach used to be like, "Oh, don't be in the newspaper, don't be reading that stuff," But it was, at that time, it was like it's kind of not hard not to.
Yeah, it's going down.
Come on now, like we up here, we ready to, we kicking it though. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was business.
Yeah. And too, like
and a lot of teams don't like. That's where it comes. It comes down to a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? It was all business.
And like you spoke on your fan base, how was that atmosphere up at state? I know, just like the school. I know it was just turned up that whole week.
Picture playing in front of like obviously you always play in a packed house when at least a couple hundred. You know what I mean? In a packed house easily every night. You get paying in front of $18,000 to $25,000.
Yeah.
Like alumni, like you got alumni from 50 years ago. You got like one of my coaches. Shout out to Eric Dale. He was actually we didn't win a championship since '89.
Okay.
So, and one of our coaches, he was a part of that. He was the point guard for the team or whatever. You know, he was 6'6" point guard for the team or whatever in '89. You know, that was the last time they had got a chance to. So it was like, you know, it was kind of like, it was like a swell moment for, you know, a lot of people and you know, and even Al Hansen coming in, giving us a little pep. You know what I mean? It was like great, bro. It was like what we needed. You know what I mean? And man, that shit lifted us. We got to the championship game, and you know that whole time they was, you know, Madison Memorial, they're gonna take it. You know, the #1 team. You know, like I said, shout out to Vanderbilt, Trey Kramer, Jerron, you know, Xavier, them man. It was,
especially in our class,
they kind of was like how I grew up. They grew up playing with each other. They you know what I'm saying? They grew up playing with each other. They already knew each other's game. They knew who, you know what I'm saying, who was gonna do what, who was gonna turn, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, it was a turning stone for them too. You know, they was on the rise, you know. Jerron was doing his thing, Vander especially doing his thing too, Trey, you know, them guys was on the rise, you know, shout out to them, man. They had great careers and went off and done everything and you know, done stuff for their families and stuff like that. So I'm grateful to meet them guys and be around them and, you know, show love. So, you know, we ended up playing them in championship game, man. It was great. Start off the game, you know, like I said, Kupak got hurt. DJ Cupertino got hurt the game before, so, you know, I ended up becoming a starter. I wasn't supposed to start that game. And right from the jump, man, I was on point, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, coach, you know, my brother, you know, I'm watching my brother, like, you know, seeing my brother, you know, it was kind of like a thing for me and my brother, like, always kind of find each other so I can get like that calm down or that, you know what I'm saying, or like shoot or, you know what I mean? Like, so I always kind of like, gotta find them, you know what I mean? So like usually being in the high school gyms, you can easily find them, you know what I mean? So trying to find them in front of all these thousands of people was kind of fucking like hard for me. So I had to like, you know, get warmed up, boom, 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 and I spot him. So I'm like, all right, bet, I got him. He right by the tunnel, like boom, boom, like I got him, you know what I mean? So it was on deck, and then man, right from the jump, bro, I was hot. You know, we was actually hot as a team. Shot like 87% from the 3-point line.
Oh damn!
I was like 3 from 3 from the 3-point line. You know, I missed what, one shot that championship game. Shit, shout out DJ Cupertino again.
Cold-blooded.
You know, obviously he did, you know, he was questionable for that game, but he went what, 6 for 6 that game. He made all threes. You know what I mean? And had 2 free throws at the end. So he, you know what I mean? It was like a big contribution thing. If you really go back and look at the scoreboard, you know, Bryce had what, 14, 15 points. Jay Barnett, 15, 14 points. I had 14, 15 points. Cooper, 14, 15 points. You know, it was just mainly for them. Yeah, it was. So it was basically like, we knew what the game plan was. We got to just shut down the other.
What was Vander, a sophomore?
Vander was a sophomore that year. So I think Vander scored like 8.
He only had like 8, about
10 points, maybe at the most. You know what I mean? It was more just like, you know, we know Jerron gonna get his. Yeah. Let him do whatever he gonna want to do. You know what I mean? He gonna get his regardless. He big, you know, he was dominating. So, you know what I mean? We basically shut down the other players, and they didn't have the game that they wanted to have. You know, they was run and gun team, but we also was a run and gun team. Yeah. And, you know, it was, you know, got chippy towards, you know, getting down to the 4th. We traded buckets. They traded buckets. Got real crucial down in the last, like, couple minutes. We down 3. Jake Barnett, he actually had, if you really go back and watch film and look, Jake Barnett had like once, like at least like 2 or 3 attempts at like hitting the 3, you know, to try to tie the game up. And, you know, the last attempt he didn't. I think Bryce ended up getting a rebound and like kicking it out to either DJ and then, or it's either kicking out to Tony or DJ, but somehow Tony got the ball. And, you know, I was just like, you know, I was at the bottom trying to get the board, and like I went out to the wing, and I'm like, all right, bet, like I'm already didn't hit 2 or 3 of them bitches. I'm gonna go for another one, because if you watch the play before, I had just got called for a travel. So I'm like, you know, me and my coach at the time, I already like, shoot it. Yeah. As soon as like I come off the dribble, he like, shoot the ball. You know what I mean? So I'm like, bam, I get called for the travel. Come back down, boom, 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 they end up missing. That's how, you know, we set the play up. Jake, somebody get the ball. Tony get the ball. Ran up an easy play. I think we ran a 14 set, where it's 3 on the wing, because I came out, you know, on the wing, and you can either set that high string for the point guard so he can make a move. And if he go to the baseline, he can, either drive, go to the hole and drive, or he can kick. And Tony just, lined it up, fake little boom, swept right through. He bit. I was open, already set. I was already 3 for 3. Let it ride.
Yeah.
Tie the game up. You know what I'm saying? It was more like okay, my nerves finally settled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It was
real clutch bucket. And shout out Tony Walls, man.
Shout out to
pure point guard. He's been doing this thing for a minute.
Shout out to Sarah Walls, his mom. Without him, without her, my coach probably be he probably low key thinking we probably didn't hear it, but who knows? It was so many people yelling. But I actually got out the game. I actually was playing. I played a lot of minutes that game, and I took out for maybe 3 minutes. It was that's when the game started going up and down. And shout out to Sarah Walls, and she like, get him back in the game.
That's real shit.
So definitely shout out to Sarah Wall. Like I said, man, it's like a big community thing like this, like family thing. Like I love seeing people from Tosa all the time. So it's it was big. So that shit was just, that shit went back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We win the overtime, and it was I think we all knew oh yeah, we got this shit because we get in overtime. It's we already getting to a different mode, so it's we got in overtime right from the jump. We get the rebound. We go right from the tip. I go to the free throw. I miss 1 for 2 from the line. Boom. That's when I think they try to come down. So we get a steal. It was a buck. It was it was free throw game after that. And we end up, we was up 5 and Ryan ended up hitting that little buzzer beater late, but we winning by 2.
Yeah. But man, okay, so that's how it ended by 2. Okay.
That's how it really ended by 2.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it was.
How was you feeling individually about your game? You just went up against Drum, man, and you know what I'm saying? If we going back to that time, he the top player in the state by far. He really doing his thing. So just matching up against the best. You went up against Corey Lucius, all type of great teams that year. So just individually, you played against the best you really can play against. How you feel about your game at the time? Is your confidence at an all-time high?
Yeah, going to my junior, my confidence was at an all-time high. Mm-hmm. And after hitting that shot, and changing certain shit that I did off the court, in transition and did I kind of felt I wouldn't say I graduated, but I kind of felt I moved up in a part of society, or not even like that, but I just felt I put myself in the bracket where it's now people gonna respect me, you know what I mean? People gonna show me respect, and you know what I mean? And just doing that, man, that shit, man, to this day right now, I got people always coming up asking me, you that dude that hit that shot at Tosa East. So
that's history.
So it be it's good. I'm thankful. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it be all that. It's love.
And it's crazy. I didn't know that they ain't win one since '89. So y'all group, y'all done had special players, Devin Harris, like you said, Jerry Smith. But y'all the group that got it done from that time period. So that's special right there.
I can remember a time where we used to talk about man, we gonna win this one. We gonna win a couple. We actually could have won a couple. That 07 class, if they would have got their mind right, it would have been different.
Yeah.
So it was just at that time, basketball was transitioning to a group thing instead of who the man.
Individual. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which wasn't nothing wrong about if you had the juice, you had the juice. Mm-hmm. Wasn't wrong with that.
And I know basketball, so I feel those roles is just as important as the star roles. So do you feel sometimes I can get underlooked as far as you can be in a star in your role, but when it comes to recruiting or them big names, they sort of looking at.
That was a big major point for me.
Yeah.
I was under the radar.
Mm-hmm. That's why that's one main reason why I had to pull you on. No bullshit.
People don't know. I was chilling. Again, man. Shout out to Cupertino.
Yeah.
Otherwise, man, I'll be trying to play football or done some football shit or stuck with that shit. You know what I mean? Made my brother, be on my ass more and did more shit. But like I said, man, shout out to Mike Cupertino, because without him, I probably wouldn't even be on the map. You know what I mean? And then, you know, just coming up, you know, his big brother, DJ, him helping me and shit, and my brothers, you know, even like I said, I played basketball, but like my brothers, they was competitive too. They played football, but they was competitive. So, you know, I played basketball with them. I was always strong, but like they didn't never give me like my natural position at Tosa. So it was just like, that was the thing for me. So I grew up playing big game.
Yeah.
So, you know, I grew up playing, you know, the 4 and the 5. So that was like your thing too. You know what I mean?
That was the thing. That was a Milwaukee thing.
You know
I feel like, it could be like that in every state,
I grew up playing the 4 and the 5.
Yeah,
You know, I was really a guard, but I grew up playing the 4 and the 5. So that's just how it was for me. But man, I took off. You know, but you know, like I said, Tosa East basketball is different. I went from actually playing my natural position only 1 year, and that was my junior year, because we were so stacked. But a lot of shit changed when that 2010 group had came in. That was younger, because you know they mindset was different, kind of. You know, seeing us win a championship and you know do so they had a lot of big expectations. You know what I mean? And it's different for a lot of them. Some of them, you know, was there to do certain shit, and some of them wasn't. You know, and my senior year, I mean, it was. I mean, I felt like a lot of niggas caught breaks. You know,
But your senior year though, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like you got the keys more, you know what I'm saying?
The key, man. I think after my junior day, I think my teammates, they knew my homies migrated. They knew that shit was mine. They already knew. Like, but I wasn't like there to argue with nobody, because at the same time, like, I was cool. Like I wasn't trying to, like, I was, you know, to myself kind of. I was just always cool, and you know, my business. I did a lot of little, you know, shit. You know, I used to smoke a lot of weed back in the day and shit like that. Just on the level, a lot of people didn't know, but you know, certain people did know, but you know, a lot of people wouldn't know, because I was always balling. I was working out. You know, I was doing certain shit. So, you know, now I can, you know, I'm not scared to tell nobody.
No problem.
You know, but you know, back in the day, I didn't know. You know, I ain't. You know, a lot of them dudes in MPS, they didn't have to do on drug tests and shit, and you know, waivers and shit like that. You know, it'd be different, man. So you know, just growing up was just different.
Your senior year, even though, like you said, you had to probably play out of position, and I hear that
I had to
a lot.
go back basically to big man, you know, and you know, it was cool. You know what I mean?
I mean, you still had games where like it's multiple 13+ rebound games.
Yeah, you know,
like so you still took on that role and did what you had to do. And too, that season y'all only lost like 3-4 games.
The crazy thing is, my coach, he had wanted me to like just rebound the fuck out of the ball. Like I gotta actually like. Him knowing he said to me, oh yeah, you can actually like break records if you rebound on fucking basketball. You know what I mean? Like go get the fucking board. You know what I mean? So there'd be times where I just go get a board. I wouldn't really need to score.
Yeah.
Let my homies do them. You know, but yeah, man. Senior year, it was cool. You know, I was transitioning, but I was gonna say I was still a late bloomer.
Yeah.
I caught that little wave street late. You know, like AAU was popping too, so it was. It's a good time. We were still smacking shit. And just, you know, doing our thing. And came up to playoffs. And, you know, obviously, you know, a lot of kids make choices and decisions. And I think, you know, at that time, we didn't, you know, being at that age, we didn't know about choices and decisions. You know, we did, but we thought we did. You know, if Barrett Powell and Larry Bradley probably would have never, you know, made certain choices and did what they did. You know, who knows how my senior year would have turned out. And we still balled out. You know, we still balled out without them. You know what I mean? Washington escaped. You know, if y'all really if y'all go back and watch that film, Washington actually escaped on a lot of missed calls, a lot of other little shit. And, you know, actually, I tied the game up too. You know, with seconds left on the clock. So it's just like, you know what I mean?
Was that the game to go upstate?
That was a game to go back up to state.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sitting at home and I'm watching, you know, and I'm just like, you know, I'm watching them get smacked by 40. Watching.
I say.
You know, and I'm just like,
yeah.
you know, but
and they had a pretty stacked squad too.
They had a nice ass.
Yeah, Terry, rest in peace, Terry.
Man, they had
Bird.
So I was just like watching them, and I was just like, I was over there. Man, I was just shout out to the homie though. Shout out to the homie. They play at Oshkosh North, I think. Shout out to the homie Tank.
Tank, yeah, Tank,
shout out to
big
the homie.
Tank. Yeah,
that was one of my first. That was one of my first. Homies, you know how you gotta share the room. Niggas been there where you gotta share the room.
Yeah.
You gotta share the bed and shit. Yeah, motherfucker, four players to a 2-player bed.
Yeah.
You know, 2 beds in there. Motherfucker on one side, motherfucker on the other side. Motherfuckers been there. And I just had to sleep with his big ass. So shout out to the homie Tank, man.
He was Tank in middle school, y'all. I went up against him. No bullshit.
That's awesome. If you know Tank, man, shout out to the homie Tank. But, you know, just, bro, like, I met so many people, and, you know, I gained great relationships with certain people. Man, my brother Nate Zastro, man, that's like my man. That's like my dog.
Is that y'all beat him junior year?
I think we got him my junior year. Yeah, we got him my junior year. I actually got to play a few of my teammates.
He was a dog.
I got to play. Shout out to Jordan Giordana. It was one of my first good teammates, man. The Giordanas, you know, they great people, great family, or whatever the case is. Shout out to another homie that played at Eclair. Man, it's gonna come to me. I think his name was Evan or some shit like that. But yeah, man, I got to play against a few of them, a few of my homies, man. It was great, man. And, you know, I was also an other sport athlete. I ran track for a year. My freshman year, I ran varsity track. Like I did like a lot of little shit, and I ended up playing 2 years. Shout out to Coach Simon. I ended up playing 2 years of volleyball or whatever. Now, I should have played all 4 years. That was pretty good, but it was great, man. I love being at East and being in Tosa and just hanging out and building relationships. You know, now I try to, you know, like I said, I was a late bloomer, and you know, college for me, you know, it was, you know, I think if I would have just kind of like sat back and waited like a few like more weeks after, like, you know, when school let out to try to do something, I probably would have went to a different school. But, you know, I think I went to a school that was a coach that was just in it for himself and not in it for the players. And, you know, some people used to say certain shit. I'm like, you know, he my coach, so like you gotta like at least take up for me.
Yeah.
You know, so it was kind of a lot of, you know, dissing for, you know, and at that time, you know, coming out of high school and doing certain shit, you know, I just wanted to make my family proud, my mom, you know, shit like that. I ended up doing a year at Carroll College. I really originally committed to Superior, but you know, my coach, he talked me into, you know, like, hey, like you want to be 6 hours away or you want to be 30 minutes away from here, you know what I mean? After we already did all this shit in Superior, you know what I'm saying? I was already going to summer school. I'm doing certain shit. That's why I felt like he cared. But like when I got up to Carroll College and shit, it was just like, it was like a lot of things changed, and he cared for himself. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Man, shout out to my Carroll teammates, man. John Hoke and, you know, Taylor and, you know, a lot of them dudes, man, they're my people, man. I established great relationship with them fellas, man. But it was just different for me, you know. And then, you know, going into my freshman year, my mom was getting sick, so I kind of like, actually, I kind of retired from basketball a little bit because it was just like, you know, I'm a family man. I like to be around my mom at that time. I didn't have kids, and you know, I wasn't working. I was strictly just basketball all the time, you know. So you know, I stopped playing basketball, and it's like it's like a year and a half. Then I ended up like, okay, I'm gonna move to like a different state, try to do something different, you know, and then moving down to Atlanta, you know, just doing my stuff. You know, my mom still got sick, so I really didn't, you know, I didn't actually finish college. You know what I mean? You know, everybody got their, you know, I got my reasons, and, you know, it ain't no reasons that I didn't want to, you know, try to get back out there. It's just, you know, it was different for me. My mom, she was a single woman. It was 9 of us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a little different for me, you know what I mean? And just being around, you know, and I was away, you know, being around, you know, missing your mom, not seeing her, you know, it was different for me. So I kind of like, you know, I stopped playing ball. So it was more just like, you know, I stay in shape, I'm more healthy, you know, I do my thing.
Yeah. Was it, even though you was going through a family situation, how hard was it stepping away from basketball? Because, like, you know, you got all this potential, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing this for the past years. I
kind of felt like it was a lot of weight on my shoulders at the time. You know, like school, just, you know, just you know, I wouldn't, you know, I can't say you know, trying to, you know, deal with other shit and, you know, do this, but, you know, I was just, you know, my mom and, you know, a lot of shit was just going on, like, you know, after her getting healthy and then, you know, just other shit just going on. You know, like people go through trials and tribulations,
Yep.
you know, so it was just little shit, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, you know, like I didn't fall out of love with the game, but I still love the game, but it just changed for me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like, you know, I was just cool on it. Like, I ain't saying I could have done something, which you know, a lot of people still say I can, but you know, I just be cool. I end up, you know, going down to Atlanta after being down there for like 2 years. I ended up, you know, meeting my first daughter mom or whatever, and having my daughter like 2012, whatever the case is, and yeah, man, you know, I went through my first little, you know, stint of, you know, being a dad.
Yep.
You know, just working in school.
Yep.
You know, actually, I tried to, you know, get back into it, but, you know, it was just, you know, a lot of people different, you know, and you know, I was away from home. You know, I was actually doing a lot of shit, you know what I mean? So, like,
I was gonna say, did you always have like other interests besides basketball? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you love that, but was there other stuff that you know what I'm saying, looked at life that you felt like you can?
one thing I do, I always tell myself, like, even if I do, like put myself back to it, like, and I really love this, because I feel like, you know, like, everybody deserves to be taken care of when, like, they get to a certain age. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I feel like they should be taken care of the right way. Like, so if it's gonna be a family member, it's gonna be a family member. You know, cool, whoever else want to take care of you. But if I do want to actually go back to school or have myself, I actually want to get in like to like the nursing field.
That's real.
And do a little shit like that. Cause I feel like I got the stomach. I'm not scared for none of that. Like seeing none of that stuff. I really don't care what it is. Just something to do with like hospital stuff or whatever the case is. But I see myself, you know, maybe doing that years to come. But who knows? You know, I'm only 33. Who knows what's in store for me? But I got my kids. Yeah, I ended up having my first daughter in 2012, and then I ended up meeting my son mom. Yeah, me and my son mom like 2000, like maybe like 13, 14 or whatever the case is around that time. And you know, years later, we kind of like, you know, a person you talk to them, who's contacting me years later, y'all, you know, I won't say spin the block, but like, you know, you like, damn, like, hey, we're having like, you know, so
real.
We had chopped it up.
Especially around that time, you know, 20s.
Yeah, my oldest daughter, she was living back in Atlanta, and, you know, we kind of like hit it off and kind of kicking it. And before you know it, man, we ended up having my son. My son finna be 7 Saturday or whatever. We had him August 10th or whatever the case is. My oldest daughter, her birthday is August 30th. And then, you know, so ever since then, I was just, you know, just cool in these last little couple years. And then I ended up meeting my youngest daughter, mom. And, man, she a great person. She, you know, I'm 7 years older than her or whatever the case is, which, you know, it's cool.
Yes,
I got mad respect for like all my kids' moms. You know, I feel like, you know, like I went through certain shit. You know, at a young time, everybody do. You know, everybody go through that little shit. You know, and you know what I mean. I try my best, and you know what I mean. But you know, sometimes I think as like men, like as us as men, like we scared to like, you know, we actually scared to say certain shit to like females or you know, let our side down or however motherfucker.
No, that's real.
But you know, I figure, you know, like they deserve that. Like either if y'all gonna be together or not. And you know, ended up having my daughter 2022 or whatever. She finna be 2 on the 20th, and you know we our co-parenting is a little different from like my first two, and my first two, man, it's wonderful. But like you know. Shit comes along the way. Like you gonna have your trials and tribulations, and you know I feel like certain shit that you know I used to go through. You know I'm not gonna get upset about. You know let's hash this shit out. But you know sometimes you go. You know you have them times where you're not talking to your kids' moms. And,
we go through that.
And you know you want to be there. You want to do the right shit, but you know. You just experiencing shit, man. We human. We going through shit, you know. At the same time, you know, we gotta look at it at their point of view. At sometimes, really, you know, well, I've been doing this, she been doing that, you know, and sometimes as a man, we get selfish. You
Yeah.
know? I think at a point in time in our lives, like, we actually got to grow up and do certain shit, you know, and, I think right now at this point in time, I'm still growing, man. Like, I still fuck up on certain occasions. Like, hey,
of course, we all do.
I'm not saying I'm finna be here and doing this and doing that, but I fuck up sometimes. Like, I'm not the greatest, you know what I'm saying? So,
as far as you, like, you know what I'm saying, you met your kids, and as a youth, you've been through sports and stuff like that. Is that something you feel like you would encourage with your kids? So, knowing, like, with the politics and there's a lot that come with it.
Yeah, it's different. Like for me, I'm actually getting my daughter. That's another thing for me. Like, a lot of people be wanting me to come, hoop and do certain shit. But, like, I'm giving, like, my daughter and my son, like even my youngest daughter, if she want to play, I'm going to give them the opportunity, like an opportunity that I didn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. There's no disrespect to no other families or people how they raise their kids. Because, man, there's great people, there's great dads out here in the city that do great things for their kid. Dupree, fucking, man, it's great people. Man.
Yeah.
Gio, look what he do for the girls teams. It's great people. You know what I'm saying? It's people that do a lot of great things out for the city. And, I'm actually trying to get my daughter going, but at the same time, be on the lookout, because I am gonna get me be on the lookout for my little shit, because I am gonna have some, like, just back to school stuff, like training, like just doing other little shit. It's gonna be on the low, but it's just for all the kids. Like, I'm different. Like, I grew up doing Raider camp, like when I was in high school and middle school and shit. Like, I grew up, and then they feed us. We there all day. Like, I'm gonna charge you like $35, but they there all day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then we gonna have little shit. We gonna have little awards at the end. For most who skill set down, who doing this, who doing that. That was a thing that kind of motivated me too as well. Like, coming up, like, oh damn, like they got this, they got that, and like growing up in high school, like, and being in our high school and going into the room, like, they used to put your shit up. Like, we used to have these things on our lockers and shit, and if you did something in the game, you used to get like these things put on your shit, and seeing those, they old school, what I'm saying? Now I don't even do that type of shit, but that shit used to be so fire, just
bring it back.
Looking at your field goals, you had your field goals, you get your W, you get all that shit, man. That shit used to be, man, mad fire. So it's just be like, I'm ready to like put all that type of shit into my kids, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? If y'all really, and I think a lot of people know me for like being in shape and doing a little shit.
Staying in shape, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially at our age, it's hard to still be active.
Yeah,
it always seems like you active.
It's definitely hard.
Yeah.
I try to just, I try to eat right a little bit, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I have a little drink here and there, I smoke, you know what I mean? But I just try to stay above the food chain. I ain't saying I ain't a person, I don't eat pork. I ain't finna be like, I ain't doing that. That shit look good, I'm gonna eat it. If it don't look good, I ain't eating it. Like, that, that's how I am. Like, I ain't finna be like, I'm not that type of person, but I just eat right. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't finna be like, oh no, I'm on a diet, I can't, you know what I mean? But how the way I look now, I think I still look good. I mean, it's people I didn't see throw. That's big. That's, you know what I'm saying. So I think I'm panning out fine.
Hey man, it look like you can go run a couple runs right now, man. You good, man? For sure. But it's just be good. It's just be good vibes for me right now, and just spending time with my kids, and I gotta make a few things right with them. My kids' mom and them, and do what's unexpected. I feel like sometimes when you do unexpected, then it goes a long way. So I'm kind of a little lousy when it comes to that. But I figured, man, I do a lot, as it is. So I make sure my kids get whatever they need, for when they need it, and. When it comes to like parents, like I'm not that parent. Like that's gonna be screaming at your kid, or I'm not that parent that's gonna be doing all that extra. A lot of parents, they need to like realize, like, let their kid be a kid. Yeah, that's right.
Like, my daughter, she my age, like I was playing sports, like organized sports, but I'm letting her still kind of like be herself. Like like I want her to come to me and tell me she wants it, and she does. So that like that's the thing. Like I love that. You know what I mean? And like and my son, like he's seeing her doing like when we go to the gym or we doing little shit, he see that like he wants to be involved. So it's like like they want to do it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not forcing them on it. Like I love that. Okay, you want to go be the next person that know how to pick out bugs somewhere. Hey, that's right. Like I'm with it. Like,
I'm with all that too.
The parents they need to like really like. You need to slow down sometimes. And some parents they need to know like some coaches they know what the hell they talking about. If your kid don't got it, just relax. I had to learn that. But my mom and my brother them they wasn't going. They wasn't going up to talking to the coach like, oh, put me in the game. They coming to me. They talking to me like, you need to do this. You need to do that. You know what I'm saying? You need to try to do this. You know what I mean? Like the same time, shout out to my oldest brother. My oldest brother be like, oh, okay. Well, how it's different now. It's 20-minute halves. Before it used to be 8.
I seen that.
8-minute quarters. So my brother be like, oh, get 10 rebounds this quarter. I don't give a fuck if it's gonna be a free layup. Don't shoot it. Just get 10 rebounds. Then now the next quarter, now shoot the ball. Now you already know you can get 10 boards. So now you got an effort. So that shit was kind of clicking with me. And then at the same time, a lot of y'all didn't know, like I grew up like my mom, she was doing her thing. So like my mom and my brother, they be like, well, shit, like you do this, I got a fresh pair of shoes for you. So I'm moving in pennies, I'm moving in J's, I'm moving in Sean Carter's, and I'm moving in all different Kobe's, I'm moving in all different type of, you know what I'm saying? So I was doing my thing, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, you know what I mean? It was a learning experience, but I definitely like want my kids to still be kids, like you know what I mean? I'm not forcing like sports. I'm down on them, like, and I feel like some kids like let them choose that they gonna play that sport or not.
I feel that that's important.
Like
and to still find some other interests because I love basketball. Don't get me wrong, but growing up, and there's some kids that got more potential than others. But I feel like I need to
and it's no disrespect, and it's no disrespect to like nobody. But like if you really want your kid to be like organized and be like put him in the right situation. Don't put him in no organized Milwaukee stuff. I'm not saying everybody in Milwaukee don't run organized good stuff, but like I grew up in the Tosa system, so I'm going. If you gotta branch out. Like,
I feel that.
Like you want your kid to have that good education and all that, and move into Tosa, move in shit, go out to Wauwatosa, go to Catholic Memorial, go here, put your kid in a position where they gonna thrive. Like you know what I mean? Like nobody didn't know I was gonna do that.
That's real.
Nobody didn't know I was gonna. I came out of the radar. Boom, boom, Erick Williams. Nobody didn't know who the fuck I was. Nobody don't. It's people up to me to this day. They don't know me. Like you know me because obviously you've been around to know. But like a lot of people don't know me. People hit me up just me trying to hoop. I ain't know that.
I feel you.
I fuck with everybody though, but I just don't be doing certain shit. I just be, you know what I mean? Like I get to know me on the outside. I get to know me on, you want to chill, you want to get up with your kids, you want to do that. I'm that person. You know what I mean? I want to do that. You know what I mean? Let's do that. But now I'm finna be getting into like doing little training stuff and shit like that. So whenever, I'm gonna have some flyers, I'm gonna have some stuff type, man, y'all bring y'all kids, man, back to school. Just, I'll make sure they get fed. I'm gonna make sure we got the water, Gatorade. And, I'm gonna hire my homies who I grew up with, it's gonna be good vibes. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, no, you know what I mean? They gonna be wanting to, and I did that I was doing that since like, 6th grade? All the way to high school, so it used to be, you know what I mean? It's not that's building relationships with kids. That's how kids build relationships, and you know what I mean. Like I said, we used to eat dinners, and I used to sleep at homie's crib, like all that. Like my homies they live right by the high school, so like we right there, boom. Like early practices, we carpooling, you know what I mean? Like,
that was everything.
We wouldn't know about you finna give me some gas. Like no, we family, we one unit. We all did stuff as a unit, so that was just like a thing. Like if one person went here, we all went here. Like if one or two people went here, we all went there. It wasn't just like we ain't leaving nobody out. Or if they had something to do with their family, then we obviously they gotta go with their family. But if we all went to do something, we all did something, and like we learned family. Like shout out to the Cupertinos again, because like they taught us a lot. Like you know what I mean, just being around and doing shit, and like I'll never forget. But we didn't have practice that year. And it was the day we just didn't have practice. It was 8th grade year. but it was like a learning experience for everybody. And we didn't have practice, and he took us to Buffalo Wild Wings. So we like, oh, bet, like, we finna eat good.
Yeah.
Order up like 500 wings or whatever the case is, and man, and we all maxing, you know, we table full, you know, I'm going crazy, you know, I'm ready, you know. So we actually finna go see the movie. He taking us to go see the movie. At that time, I didn't know nothing of it. I didn't, you know, I never researched it or looked it up. But at the time, he's taking us to go see the movie Miracle. Miracle.
I remember the hockey movie.
The hockey movie.
Yeah,
but you know, it was a big turning stone for a lot of us, because it showed us like they ate together, they ran together, they trained together, they slept together, you know what I'm saying? And that was like a big stepping stone for us. So when all that shit like transferred to us going into high school, and that shit like bonded us, like it kind of like put a bond on all of us to like we all just did everything together. We did this, we did that, we kicked together. Like we used to get off practice and go to Buffalo Wild Wings as a group. Just on random days throughout the week, you know what I'm saying? Like that like we used to do shit like that. So that kind of like, you know, him showing us, taking us to that movie, it just showed us like, you know, like dedication, hard work, family, unity, like a lot of that shit. And like at that age, I think that's where it was like, you know, a lot of players and teams, they weren't doing that type of shit.
Yeah, no, that's real.
You know, he was real, and he wanted us, you know, no discipline, no, you know, you can't take everything for granted, or you know, shit like that. You know what I mean? So you know, it was definitely a big stepping stone for a lot of us as kids. I know it was for me. You know what I mean? That's almost what I was in middle school. That was like 2003, 4. When that, maybe like 2005, maybe when that movie came out.
Something like that.
That's all.
I remember that movie
some years ago. So like that, you know, that was just you know, that was just to show you like, damn man, like. I just grew up around that type of action, man, and that's just what it is. There's love, just good people, just good vibes,
facts.
Just show love.
And that's what's most definitely what it's about. At the end of the day, I feel like you know, to the regular person and shit, basketball is just a tool to build these relationships, and like you said, tap in with people. That's how we got together to this day. So
man, you already know when you see me at the gas station, you always see me right there around the corner from my mom's crib and shit like that, man. But you know, I be moving and grooving, but I'm low at the same time. So I mean, I'm under. You know, I like to be on. Like I ain't saying I don't want to pop out, but like I just like to be under the radar. Like,
ain't nothing wrong with it.
And chill, just mind my business, and you know, I lost my best friend. I lost my best friend coming up to 4 years. You know, I lost him at 19, and you know, just coming up, like we used to do a lot of shit. He used to come grab me, and we used to just do a lot of shit together. So it's just like, you know, I take a lot of like being around like my friends and like my personal people. I take that shit serious. Like they're like my people. Like, you know, I got some of his hair in my head. I got tats of him. You know what I'm saying? I carry his ashes every day. So it's just like, you know, like we used to get conversations that I don't get no more. So it's like certain people, I just be telling them, man, don't take that shit for granted. Like, you know, if y'all not meant to be friends, then just, you know, let it be. Ain't no need to be on no bullshit and shit like that, because you never know, a motherfucker could be here today and gone tomorrow. So, you know, and that's how it kind of was for me, because we was a part, like, you know how you talk to that person every day, and then all of a sudden you just don't get that person. So it's like, you know, it's a big stepping stone. You know, like August is a big month for me, so it's just like, you know, I'm dealing with birthdays, I'm dealing with his anniversary, school, you know, coming back up. So it's just like, you know, man, I got a full plate. So I mean, I be trying to, you know, I just try to maintain. You know, a lot of people know like this my best friend. They know I've tapped in with him. You know, it's been, you know, so I try to, you know, shout out to, you know, I was actually going through a tough time when my best friend passed. Man.
I was gonna say, can you speak on that a little bit?
I was going
that is tough.
You know, I was going through a little tough time. You know, just having conversations with, you know, like I was telling you, like having conversations with a person every day to not, you know, and you doing things and y'all kicking it, y'all, you know, y'all going to concerts, y'all, you know, y'all doing, like, you ever had a vibe with a person like where y'all don't have, like, ain't no beef, ain't no nothing. Like, I'll never forget, he called me one day and just, he like, this one, shout out to Gucci, man. This one, Gucci just came home, you know what I'm saying? From that little bed, he called me up. I'm chilling. I'm smoking and shit. He called me up. I'm like, what you doing? He like, I'm oh man, you know, just chill and kick back. He, you know, and at that time, you know, I don't drink beer. You know?
Yeah.
So he like, well, we'll get dressed and we finna go to Gucci. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm like, you know, he comes scoop me. I'm like, just go to the store, grab some blunts. You know, I'm gonna smoke. You know, but you know, I ain't drink beer and you know, but little shit he eats me on too. And little shit. So so now like you know after use like you know he not here no more and like, you know I do little shit you know that that I never used to want to do. So now I drink. I have like 2 beers, Modelo beers, because he put me on Modelo beers. So I have like Modelo beers. I drink tequila because that's what he drink. Jameson, a couple shots of Jameson here and there. I just like I remember little shit that we used to do. So I kind of like reminisce myself.
I feel that
like on certain days to like you know. But I was man. Shout out to my homie Ben and Morgan Dowsman, man. They was good people because without them I would have never known. You know, I was actually I was in the Wisconsin Dells spending time with my daughter. It was her birthday, but at the same time I'm talking to him too. Like we texted that whole day, you know, and you know, unfortunately he crashed on his motorcycle and you know he ended up passing and you know it was just you know it was a big tough time for me at that time.
Yeah.
It was I'm celebrating my daughter and you know that and. So, you know, it'd be like, you know, I'd be having my days where I just be like, that's why I kind of like be chill.
No, but that makes sense though, and I'm glad you shared that.
I don't be on too much, and you know, like man, I'm big on like family, man. Like my son, he named after one of my homies, Nate Astro. My son is named after my homie. You know what I mean? I get cause like my oldest daughter, her middle name is Taylor. That's one of my homegirls who I grew up with since we was like 3 years old. Like that's just my dog. Like you know, they're my people. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's just like man, like I fuck with my people and
that's real
you know,
shit.
I show love and love need to be shown and you know. And man, I be thankful for a lot of shit. You know what I mean? You know, I just tell people you can't take shit for granted. You know, being out here in Milwaukee, man.
Not at all.
Definitely can't take a lot of shit for granted, man. And you know, so that's why I just be chilling, man. You know, I haven't done a lot of shit since my best friend passed, so I just be.
And our condolences too from JonnyBeeTV for real.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I just be hanging out, man. I just be chilling. I show love. I like to give people their flowers. You know what I mean? I just like I love that shit, man. You know. So I don't want nobody. You know, if I leave, you know, I don't want nobody to know it's like, hey man, Erick was on some bullshit. No, man, I don't want motherfuckers like, man, I'll fuck with you.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
He was on some real shit. He was, you know what I'm saying. He probably not, you know what I'm saying. So, but I want people to know, just like I show love. You know, you fuck with me. But yeah, y'all tap in with me, man. I'm gonna be making shit right soon. Having my little shit worked out and. With the little basketball shit, and y'all got any kids? Like my brother, he got the football shit. 9U, 8U, Bulldog. Shout out Prospect U. Tap in on my brother, man. No bull. Y'all gonna get tapped in.
That was something I was gonna ask you before we hit it. You know what I'm saying? Any shout outs you want to give? You know what I'm saying? And too like. I know, like you spoke on, you got a lot of stuff planned for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, man. Shout out, first off, shout out to my boy Emil. Always, man. One thing about anything, I love supporting just anybody. Y'all got brands, y'all got anything, bro. Y'all got that gear, y'all got merch, bro.
Yeah.
Send it my way, bro. I love wearing my people brand. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to my homie E-Nail, Lion Nail Company. On Instagram, E-Only1. You know what I mean? Tap in with my boy. Man, shout out to my homie Protege. My homie, you know, he made good music. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Shout out to my Tosa family, man. Just anybody, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Carter family. That's my best friend family. You know, shout out to them. Just. You know, man, just shout out, you know, Zastro family, Cupertino family, the Pals, man. Shout out all my teammates, man. Shout out everybody in the city, all the good hoopers. I fuck with all y'all. Y'all know what's up.
You are you gonna be in any leagues? Was you in any this
I was
summer?
just playing in the rep. We lost to get to the championship.
Okay.
You know, hey man, things happen. You know, but like I said, man, I really be chilling, man.
Yeah.
Man, it's actually I'm trying to get my daughter. Man, I feel like a lot of people gotta really understand. Like I'm trying to get my daughter an opportunity, and I'm trying to set her on the map. Like I seen a lot of great girls come out of Tosa East, and she can be one of them. So it's just like, you know, I want my daughter to experience like
It's all about putting everything in the future right now.
When she comes to the gym, she knows certain shit. She already be, so, I'm getting her more involved. We're gonna do some WNBA games this year. We gonna do a little, I'm gonna make it right for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get her together. And then my son, he gonna come a long way. So
Thanks.
So I can't wait, man. I got a lot of little shit in store.
Just one thing I'll say: make sure if you catch your size, make sure don't just put him out of position. No bullshit. Like you said, you was supposed to be on the guard. They had you 4'5". So just make sure you get an equal opportunity.
So I can't say how big my son actually is gonna get because he might get the thicker side. You know what I mean when it comes to shit. And I'll be if he
it don't matter.
Get that thicker side because he got my son, he Asian and black, so it's be like he might take that Asian build. Or
I feel that
he already kind of built like that in a way, so it's like but man, it's gonna be wonderful in these next years.
Yeah, it's up, man.
And seeing a lot of other kids, and man, shout out to this new wave and this new era class, man. Man, shout out to man the early 2000s, man. Shout out me watching all those dudes coming up, just man, shout out.
We catching a couple of those people coming up too.
A lot of people really need to realize they make those the basketball lists, and it was a different era, different time.
Yeah, that don't matter. Facts.
Different, we can all say what we did in that era, in our era, but it was a different time. You know what I'm saying? So man, shout out to. But without them, without none of them, it wouldn't be us. Without us, it wouldn't be none of them. Without them, it's like a chain reaction. A lot of people just need to understand that. Don't get me wrong. There's some goats that came out of them.
Yeah, facts.
Goats, shout out to them. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not finna get on here and be like, oh.
Shit, you went to school with one. We're gonna get Jerry one. So, Jerry most definitely was a goat.
See, that's the thing. It was more than one goat in the building at Tosa.
It was plenty.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just it was just different. It was other goats in other sports at Tosa East. So it was Jerry's just a basketball goat at Tosa East.
That's real shit.
Other goats that did other shit in other sports. So that's the thing. That's why Tosa East kind of slept on, because they only think it's kind of obviously the suburb people know we do other good at other sports, but a lot of people don't know Tosa East produce hella athletes.
See, I didn't know that. I was looking at just y'all basketball. That's what I came from.
That's what I'm saying. Hella athletes. Yeah. Hella athletes. No bull. Now they kind of got the wall of inspiration, and they got the Hall of Fame and all that stuff. They put the plaques on the wall and stuff like that. It's hella goats that came out of here. Mm-hmm. Plenty goats.
That's real shit.
Sure. You know what I'm saying? That accomplished hella things. You know what I'm saying? So. But man, shout out to those the early 90s, the 2000s. Man, without them, it wouldn't be no, no great basketball. Coming into early 2000s, late 2000s, man. Shout out to all them, man.
Thanks.
It was all great athletes. I tell people now, this era wouldn't stand up with our era. And that's one thing I would say, because it's over. They'll get ran over. No.
I feel that.
Too small. Looking at the teams, looking at certain players. Now. Anybody can do shit to get put on, so it's different. Let that would have happened when we was different. You really had that certain shit, that go. You can't do certain shit. Now motherfuckers getting NIL deals, they doing shit, motherfuckers paint their nails, which I'm neutral, man. I'm cool with that shit. You know what I mean? But give us all that opportunity. Don't get an opportunity now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel a lot of people that is from the city, I feel we kind of got fucked on that on that side, because now it's we looking at that shit. Plenty of people could have had NIL deals. Corey Lucius, Johnny Lacey, plenty. It's plenty of people.
And too, just the social media impact. They probably could have went. They went to big schools, but they could have went to bigger schools.
And that be the thing. That's why I always when I go to other states, or if I ever been to other states and hooped, or just and I tell people nigga, I'm from the Midwest. Nigga, don't sleep on us. And that's the thing. A lot of people sleep on us. Hold on, nigga, we would have shit popping too if they would have gave us that opportunity, that certain opportunity. How they getting now? We had that social media shit going down.
But before I let you go, do you feel you a humble dude, so it might not be that, but do you feel if you had them kind of advantages that it would have been bigger than Carroll? It would have been
maybe so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how I feel.
Why I say that? Because it's just it's easy. When we was just getting started, YouTube was just getting popping.
Facts, hell yeah.
I used to get. I remember when. Shout out to Josh Brown, one of my teammates for He played at Madison High School, but he was my AAT teammate. But he showed us the video of Brittany Griner dunking. You know, we like that shit was just getting popping. Like that YouTube shit was just getting going and everything. You know, like motherfuckers try to pull up. You know, watch the John Wall videos. We walking in, watching them play. You know what I'm saying? We watching these top rated players. We, you know what I'm saying? So that shit was kind of. So it was like certain people had that certain TV time or that certain time. You know what I mean? But if they would have get an opportunity like how it is for everybody now, it'd be different. Not even just speaking on me, like just like it'd be different for so many people. Like this shit be expanded for a lot of people. A lot of people really would be networking even harder. Like, but you know, hey man, we can't say what we would have did, what we would have done. But hey,
we ain't here for that. You're right.
But you know, hey man, everybody got their time. Everybody got their, you know. They think, you know, I wish everybody to, you know, that they do their thing. And, you know, have their kids and they want to see their kids grow and be, you know, be athletes and shit like that. Man, that shit great. That shit's wonderful. You know what I mean? So, you just got to really, you know, man, just got to figure it out, man. That's just what it is, man. At that time, at our time, it wasn't about figuring it out. It was about who you know.
Yeah. That too. You're right.
You got that. It's about who you know. You got that money. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? So at that point in time, you gotta really tap in and do certain shit. And only certain people had that. It's like having a black card. Yeah. Some people had that black card. Some people had that debit card with a couple hundred on there. Some
the EBT card.
The EBT, you know. So it was different, you know. But man, but I'm grateful, man. You got to see a lot of great players. Like, I got to see a lot of great players, man. Love that shit, man. Definitely dope. Man, yeah, I'm just definitely grateful for everything that didn't happen for me as far as my basketball, my family, just overall everybody that's, you know, that's a part of my life and, you know, that's always, you know, rooted for me, cheer me on or whatever. Just show love whenever it's due, whatever. Man, thankful for them, man, for real. That shit love.
Facts. Well, shoot, I appreciate having you on.
Already, my boy.
I got one of the Tosa East finest, man.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
And twos, man, somebody always felt that had that game for real and get the light for it. So I wanted to bring him on JonnyBeeTV so we can get him on here, man.
Yeah, man, because I always get people to be like, you know, you say Tosa East. And, you know, I always, you know, and I tell people to this day, like, nah, man, like any one of us could hit that shot. So I feel like I just happened to be like, it was a turnstone for me, and I was like, right place, right time, right, you know, right situation for me. So it was great for me.
You know, you humble, man. You humble all day, man. Real shit. Hey, Erick Williams in the building, man.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man. For sure, man. Y'all show love whenever it's due. That's sir.
You already know. Hey, man. Hey, you gotta slide back on, like you said. Bigger than a basketball player. We got to speaking on some real shit, so we gotta get on some real topics, man. No bullshit. JonnyBeeTV, man. We out of here. Love.
Yes, sir.